Hey, Anthony, the Green Bay game, the reverses, the touchdown catch. It's probably a lot of people watching that game who probably said, "Where's that been?" How would you answer that?
I would just answer it as like sometimes things go the way, sometimes things just go depending on how the game goes. Like maybe one game we're trying to do this, maybe one game we're trying to do that. Sometimes it's the right time, sometimes it might not be the right time. And us as offense, we just felt that was the right time, right play calls, and I was just waiting for my number to be called no matter what. If it's on the reverses, the sweeps, or if it's anything, I'm just there waiting, always prepared.
Do you feel you're a much better player now than you were in September in Kansas City?
I feel especially because being more comfortable in the offense, just kind of going throughout the season, seeing how it goes, not being that kind of big-eyed rookie that I was at the start of the season. Now I feel like I'm more matured and more got the mood of everything going on, and I've been grinding.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you, Tony. Next up, Dan Lobby.
Hey, Anthony, how did it feel to do that Lambo leap?
It felt great. That was kind of going into the game. I was thinking, okay, if I score, I got to do the Lambo leap in Lambo. And luckily, I saw just a crowd of Browns fans right in front of me, so I just had to go for it.
This season has sort of been about starts and stops, even going back to training camp for you with, I know you had some soft tissue issues, you had the concussion. How have you kind of dealt with that challenge?
Just kind of really just been the whole motto this year for me has been control what you can control. And so whether it's being out when I was out in training camp, just staying in the playbook, being able to just do as much as I can to learn, and then coming back out, and then with the concussion, it's kind of that was one where I just had to like kind of deal with the fact that there's nothing really I can do to speed this up. Just have to let the brain heal because the brain's the brain. That's no joke. But it's been like my mantra this year, just been control what you can control. And that's what I've been trying to stay with and trying to keep on doing.
If I can just squeeze one more in about the concussion, because you did miss a pretty significant amount of time with it. Was that scary at all as you were going through that?
I would say just like the first week was scary because I've never had a concussion before, so I didn't know what to expect. And then kind of going through it got more frustrating than scary just because of I want to be back out there, especially after the bye week. I thought I'd be fine, but some people can come back in a week. Some people it takes a cut longer. Just got to keep the brain right and just make sure that I can keep it right so I can keep on playing for even longer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Let's go to Cam Justice.
Hey, Anthony, I asked Kevin Stefanski about this earlier today. When you're a rookie and you're dealing with some injuries and having to come in and out, I asked, what goes into it off the field, what kind of work you guys might be doing, not just at practice, but away from it. And he said a lot of it is in practice, just off to the side. What have you been able to see from that kind of work that you've been able to go with, trainers on the side to get you up to speed and get you past that rookie curve? And how do you think that's impacted the way you've been able to play this season and moving into next season as well?
Yeah, most of the stuff we do that's kind of to the side is kind of like trying to simulate things we would do in the game or things we would do in practice without actually being out on the field, whether it's just being on the side, kind of doing runs, doing a little bit of drills, like change of direction drills. And then a lot of it is a lot of conditioning, and it's not even just running, it'll be like on a bike, just kind of any type of condition you can kind of make. And that kind of helps you keep your wind, stay in shape. And then sometimes even really you kind of come back better. Like I feel like I came back better than I was when I got hurt. And so just doing that, keeping that, being able to keep that up it's kind of encouraging, and it's kind of like takes all that frustration that you have when you were hurt, kind of like it like makes you like feel all worth it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cam. Jeff Shadell will have our next question.
Hey, Anthony, this game Monday night, it's huge for you. It's huge for the Steelers. Both teams could still win the division. So what is your mindset in such a huge game on national TV?
So really our mindset is that this is the playoffs, because pretty much it's pretty much not pretty much, it is win or go home. And it doesn't matter if it's the regular season, to us it's the playoffs, because we know we have to win these 2 games in order to win a division and make the playoffs. So we're already in playoff mindset. And we know it's going to be a big one, especially because we know the stakes and just keeping this as a 1-game season each game.
Thank you, Jeff. Next up, Scott Petrick.
Anthony, after seeing those end arounds against Green Bay, do you think the next step is more deep shots to you?
Honestly, that's just a question for coach to answer. I do whatever they tell me to do, whether it's deep balls, end around, short. I'll do anything they ask me to and be prepared for anything.
You talked about trying to control what you can control, given the starts and stops to your season. How difficult has that been, though? No, you get off to a good start in Kansas City, and then there's just been so many kind of ebbs and flows.
It's just difficult. It's difficult because like, especially with a big first game, like I know what I can do, and I know what I was brought here to do. And it's just hard not being able to be out there to do that, and especially the games where I've had to miss. It's hard being just watching from the side. Like I want to be there. I want to have an impact. I want to win with my team. I want to play with my brothers, and it's just frustrating not being out there sometimes. Well, all the time, not being out there is frustrating.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Next up, Marla Ridenour.
Yeah, Anthony, a quick one about the Lambo Leap again. Did you see those people before the game, and did you get any grief from your teammates for doing that?
I didn't see him. It was just kind of a spur of the moment. I was scanning throughout the game. I was kind of scanning just to see, and then luckily I looked up and they were literally right there. And my teammates, they liked it. They were fired up for it.
And I mean, I don't know who you watched growing up, but did you ever watch Ben and the Steelers as a kid?
Yeah, I watched them. I definitely remember was it 20? I forgot what year when they played the Cardinals that game in the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
That's like definitely a moment that stuck out to me. And it's always been crazy, especially the first time we played. I'm like, man, that's Big Ben out there. Like I grew up watching him.
Was there something you liked about him back then?
He just was always on point, like with everything. Like when you go, especially like growing up, you see teams go against Big Ben, it's kind of like they shut down before they even start the game because of the intimidation that he already has. And so it was just that's kind of like what my growing up, what I always thought about him.